We are
Good
live.
evening, ladies. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to All Point Sports, brought to you by Edge Remodeling, Franklin Square, Long Island. Another edition of All Point Sports. Right now on the air, let's say hello to Adam E., the big Knicks fan. He's back again. Adam, this is your second time on the show. How you doing tonight?
Doing good, Doc. Thanks to you and Bobby for having me on. I'm looking forward to talking to some sports.
And let's talk a little real estate as well. That's big in the tri-state area, 914 Homes. That's how to get in touch with Adam, a Coldwell banker. And he's very knowledgeable with sports and everything going on in the tri-state area. And also we have our regular here, Bobby Blackjack. Bobby Blackjack in New Jersey right now. How you doing, Bobby?
I'm doing pretty good. We have a little airplane behind us. Did we see that little dot right there? Either that or being a UFO. I'm not sure yet. I haven't turned around. So that's facing west. So that's the sunset behind us. I'm doing good. I mean, we're winding down the winter sports, I guess you would say, right? Because when does hockey start? Today or tomorrow? Or Friday?
Saturday, I believe, the 3rd.
Wow. Okay. So, yeah. So, the sports are winding down now. So, pretty soon it's going to be all baseball and NFL training camps, right? So I'm doing good.
That's good to hear, Bobby. And of course, the NBA finals starting up tomorrow. Who you thinking, Bobby?
I mean, I'm going to stay in the same mode I've been in from the beginning. I don't see anybody stopping Jokic, whatever his name is, the Joker. I think he's on a mission. I think once Joel Embiid won the MVP over him and got bounced out in the first round or second round like that, I think he's taking it personal to say, look, I'm the MVP, three-time MVP, not Embiid this year. And I think he's on a mission now to prove everybody wrong and just come out gang fire. But you know what? Miami is resilient. I'm sure we'll get to this point in a second. It's just amazing how you have 2 number 8 seeds in the finals, both from Florida.
What do you think, Adam? Big Knicks fan. We lost to Miami. Miami now in the finals. You got to think it's Miami's year.
You know, I was thinking it's Miami's year. I'd like to say we lost to the champs, but I got to say I'm going with Bobby here. You can't stop the Joker. When it comes down to size, they have nobody other than Bam to guard the Joker. They possibly, if they wanted to give Hassan Whiteside, a nice goodbye, since he's going to be retiring after about 19, 20 years, they could put him in to try and guard him. But I just think Denver has too much power. However, Doc, you're right. You know what? The Miami Heat, they like to call themselves the dogs of the NBA. There's a lot of dogs there. They're tough. You don't want to mess with them. Jimmy Butler actually said to a female tennis player, I can't remember her name, before the playoffs even started, he asked her if she wanted tickets to see the Miami Heat play in the finals. So he's a confident guy. He plays hard. You can't root against him unless he's playing the Knicks.
Very nice. Hey, I'm going to take a short break. I'm going to start sharing on my internet, Bobby. So why don't you take it just for a couple of minutes right here?
All right. I'll do the same when you're finished. So Adam, let's talk some more basketball. What are your thoughts about the offseason? Oh, by the way, I think I noticed today that your Knicks fired the GM today. They did some success and they fired the guy. Typical.
So they didn't fire him. They chose not to renew him. So a little bit of a difference, but Scott Perry, I've met him several times. Very nice guy. He came in with Steve Mills and that regime. It's a different regime 3 years ago. He stayed on. He helped us build some good days here. Personally, I probably would have kept him, but you know what? Leon Rose wants his crew in. I don't see the Knicks hiring a new GM. I see them moving somebody up because they have a lot of guys in that front office. You got Allen Houston, the former player. You also have Worldwide West there. You got the guy from Minnesota. Can't think of his name offhand, but he was actually the one that was doing the negotiating with Utah for the failed Donovan Mitchell trade. I don't know what they're going to do at this point. You know what? We don't have draft picks this year, so they could take their time. But I do see an in-house candidate being the one, unless they want to flip the switch and go wild, because Bob Myers isn't going back to Golden State this year, and we know what he did there.
I've been saying, if you listen to the show the past few weeks, Adam, I've been saying this on a few of the shows I participate in. Somehow, you mentioned Myers. Somehow, I see Draymond Green coming east this year, whether it be the Knicks, the Nets, or Philadelphia. I just think that dynasty is done up there in Golden State.
I don't see him going back to Golden State. I kind of think Bob Myers said, you know what? I don't want to tell Draymond we don't want him. I don't want to tell Klay Thompson you're not getting the max contract. He doesn't want to be in charge of saying, oh, we're going to have to trade Jordan Poole. So I think it was just easier for him to take a break for a year, although they offered him ownership. I mean, it had to be something going on for him really to turn down ownership in the Warriors. I agree with you. Draymond, I think, is out of there. I don't think he's coming east, but he was from Detroit, so you never know that Michigan aspect. He could go there. He's buddy-buddy with LeBron, but I don't see LeBron and Draymond on the same team. LeBron really needs shooters around him. I don't think he goes back to the Warriors. Whether their dynasty is over, you can't count them out as long as number 30 is on the floor. And I would say they got a chance, but the dynasty of Steph, Clay, and Dre will be over. Whether they continue that is yet to be seen. They really screwed up when they with the whole draft of James Wiseman and that whole situation, because they needed a big man. They found themselves in trouble against Anthony Davis and the Lakers, and had they gone further and finally beat the Lakers, they would be in the same category right now, struggling against the Joker with Denver.
Sorry, guys. Allergies. No,
Joker just dominates.
The Joker's amazing, Doc. It's pretty cool to see him play. He throws up a triple-double like it's nothing. He's really that point center. And it's amazing to see him play. He can throw a pass, like he's a quarterback. He's throwing them full court, and he pinpoints where it lands. It's real impressive to see. I mean, if I had to guess, I'm thinking Denver in 6. But as an NBA fan, I would love to see a 7-game series. I just think there's nothing like Game 7, no less in the NBA Finals. What do you think, Doc?
I love Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler, what a shooter. But if it's not Butler, they do have some they have quite a few shooters. But like you said, it may come down to that big man who's just a dominant big man in the Joker. And he looks a little awkward sometimes when he's dribbling the ball down the floor, just being such a big man. But he gets the job done over and over again. And it's fun to watch in the NBA.
Doc, if it was me and you on each other's shoulders, I think the Joker's still bigger than us. He's a big man, and he's strong. So it's going to be tough to guard him. The big men are back in the league. For a while, we went to the point guards. We had the Steph Currys of the league and Luka Doncic. And you know what? We still do have good point guards, but I think the big man is back with Embiid, battling for MVP against the Joker. It's going to be interesting to see. I would like to see Denver win. They've never won a finals before. So, you know what? It would be good to see, give that franchise something to cheer about. But you know what? Miami, you can never count them out. It's, Pat Riley hurt us Knicks fans, but you know what? He is a winner. And I saw a stat that said he's been in about 20% of the NBA finals that ever took place, which I thought was pretty amazing, because between his years as a player playing for the Lakers, his years as an executive in Miami, and then his years coaching with the Knicks and the Heat, he really has an amazing resume. And all I think about is him on the sidelines in those fancy suits. It's
With the
kind of like those
slick
suits
back
that
hair. With the slick back hair.
flip back hair. Yep. He wears those fancy suits. I mean, I wonder if you guys go to the same tailor because your suits are pretty nice too when you're on stage at the Villa Roma.
Well, I gotta say, I do have some pretty fancy suits, and so does Pat Riley. But when it comes to suits, hands down, Walt Frazier.
Walt Frazier's the man. When it comes to outfits, I was at a Knicks viewing party over in Central Park at the Woolman Rink, and it's beautiful because the landscape is the New York City in the background. We watched the Knicks lose. However, it was great. Clyde was there. He had this yellow tracksuit on, this Puma tracksuit on with the Puma Clydes. It was awesome. And the funniest thing, Doc, you'll appreciate this. You'll get a kick out of this. So the Woolman Rink is located in Central Park, and you have to walk there. No cars go through Central Park. No cars go through Central Park unless you're Walt Clyde Frazier, because everybody else walked to the rink to watch it. Clyde pulled up in a black SUV right in front, and the police said it's okay, but they made everyone else walk. Latrell Sprewell, they said, nope, you got to walk it. They said, Clyde, feel free, have your car pull right up.
Wow. And you know who has some pretty nice suits as well? Charles Oakley. When we saw him up at Saratoga last year doing the signing, he's wearing a pink suit. It was pink.
Wow.
It was pretty nice. I think it was seersucker, pink seersucker.
Wow. And he's a big dude. I remember I met him. He did a book signing in New Jersey. Can't think of the store. Bobby, you probably know it. It's in North Jersey. They do a lot of. That's it. Yes.
Yeah,
they do a lot of signing. It was a lot of fun. I met him there, and a buddy of mine actually helped him write the book, Frank Isola. He used to work for the New York newspapers. Now he has a Sirius radio show on NBA radio with Brian Scalabrine in the mornings. And we were talking and we were saying, wow, Charles Oakley is a big dude. And the stories he can tell, it's amazing. But it was a different world back then. And you know what? Hopefully one of these days he'll be welcomed back into the Garden.
And he still has his car washes, Charles Oakley. So get your car washed at Oak's Car Wash.
He does, right here in Westchester on Central Avenue in Yonkers, right at the corner of Central and Jackson Avenue. You go in there, you get to see some Knicks memorabilia. It's pretty cool to see.
Very nice, Adam. And let's segue right now. This is tied to you. Yesterday, I'm calling bingo over at the resort past couple of days over the Memorial Day weekend. And who was playing bingo but none other than your grandmother, Tess, 101 years old. God bless her, Adam.
Thank you, Doc. It's amazing. She loves coming up there to see you, and you always give her the greatest, warmest welcome, and she loves it. She has her card that she got from you as a gift in the Villa Roma, and she treasures it. Every time she comes, she says, I got my card with me. I'm going to go play bingo and see Doc.
So if you're not familiar, bingo, when you turn 95 years old at the Villa Roma, I give away a card for life. And Grandma
95.
Tess says, yes, and Grandma Tess has had that car 6 years.
6 years, yeah. Hopefully she'll hold on to it for a few more years, too.
That's right.
I think it should be 85, and then at 95, you get to call a game for you.
Wow, I like that.
Right?
Well, we got to get into Singo, maybe the combination bingo and karaoke. What do you think, Adam?
That would be a lot of fun. I don't know if she'd be up for it, but she's a huge Yankee fan, watches the Yankee games every night. And I was actually talking Yankees with her today, and she was saying to me, she thinks Aaron Judge is going to go for MVP again. And I said, he had multiple home runs already in the year. I think he has got about 18 home runs this year. He's playing great. The Yankees are on a 4-game win streak. but you never know. The American League is so good right now. You never know what's going to happen there. But it is funny that you mentioned her regarding bingo, because I always tease her. I say, can we frame that bingo card and hang it on the wall? And she says, nope, you can't do that. I need it to go play.
Yeah. Hey, how about those Yankees? Let's talk Yankees right now. Last night, uh, they're in Seattle right now, and tell me, how are the Yankees getting a run and a half? How are the Yankees getting a run and a half in Seattle with a better record? How is that possible? Even tonight, the game's at 9:40. They're getting a run and a half on the Caesars app. How is that possible, Adam?
Actually, I'm not sure, because the Yankees are coming off a 4-game win streak right now. Hopefully, they
Has to
make
be the
it 5.
pitcher.
Who's pitching tonight, Bobby? Do you know?
I'm looking now. Has to be the pitcher, right?
Yeah,
It
it
was
would have to
last
be
night
who's
as
pitching.
well. That's with Nasty Nestor Cortez last night. They were getting a run and a half.
Oh, that's why, because Clark Smith's pitching.
Oh. But last night too. Wow, if I knew that, I would have been on my Caesars app.
There you
God,
go.
we got to text more often.
Yeah.
We could have gotten some more ads and everything with those winnings.
There you go.
But yeah, the Yankees are doing great. What's your thoughts on the Mets? They're about, I think, 28 and 27 this year. I hear there's a lot of fun things going on down there at Citi Field. But with the injuries, they were starting out with the bullpen full of aces, and now it's getting interesting. What do you guys think?
Well, I think they're handling Philadelphia right now. Bobby,
Yeah,
give us an update on
4-1.
that. They were up 4-1.
4-1, yeah.
So
4-1.
I think they still have the pitching. I think they could improve on their hitting. Not everybody's performing, but as you said, they had some injuries early, and I think if they could turn it around, they're still in the ball game. They're still above 500, and I don't particularly like the team, and I've voiced that before, but I'd like to see them do well. I have a little bet on the Caesars app with the Mets Jets. I want to see the Mets deliver, and I want to see the Jets after that with Aaron Rodgers. So exciting times in New York right now.
They are. This past weekend, I was actually in White Plains, New York, and I was visiting with Paul O'Neill and one of my friends, Brandon Steiner. He actually used to own Steiner Sports Collectibles, and I blame him for my addiction to sports.
Name dropper over here, Adam. Adam, the name dropper.
There you go.
And, so Paul O'Neill released an IPA. So we're all there, we're sampling his beers and everything, and I'm talking to him, and I'm like, how great would it be if it's like 2000 again and we get a Subway series? He didn't seem to be big on it, but I can tell you that I was excited for it. I would love to see it. But unfortunately, he wasn't as eager. He was more eager just for the Yankees to have a good year, which I can understand.
Tell us about the beer, Adam.
I'm not really a big beer guy, but when you're with the guy who made them, you had to try them. So they were pretty good. They're called the Warrior, and it was served at a brewery in White Plains on Post Road of Mamaroneck Avenue. Great little spot, and he came in with his wife, his granddaughter, and some family. And you know what? I haven't really met Paul a bunch of times. Like I love the Yankees, but he was really friendly. And I know, you know what? Everyone knows him for, there's two things. You say Paul O'Neill is a sweetheart, or you say Paul O'Neill on the field, I don't want to mess with him. But he was a sweetheart. He was behind the bar giving out drinks. He was talking to everyone, taking pictures. It was nice to see. The guy is, I believe, 60 or 61 years old now. But
Already?
let me tell you, he can run the New York City Marathon and run circles around me. The guy he's been working out, like he's strong.
And how tall is as a Paul O'Neill?
I'm not the tallest guy, so he towered over me. I would say he's an easy 6'3", 6'4".
Very nice.
But you know what? It was nice to see him because we're all sitting in there, and he walks by, and he's on the street, and you look, and you're like, that's Paul O'Neill. Like he's still like, you know what? It's that iconic look that he has. Like there he is, like one of the main Yankees. One of the guys that really put on a show. A legendary Yankee. Now his number's retired out there in Monument Park. I'd love to get down there one day and take a tour now with these new numbers out there. Have either of you guys gone?
No, I've never been.
Yeah, I would love to go down there and check it out. But we'll see what happens. Right now, as far as I'm concerned, though, it's still basketball and hockey season. I like to say around the All-Star break of baseball is when baseball season really starts. Once that 4th of July starts going, we get to say, all right, now it's time to make the playoffs. Let's separate the boys from the men. Let's see what teams are going all in. And, hopefully we have a good week or two right now with the NBA finals and NHL finals and see who wins the cup.
And who do you like there, Adam?
So as for the NBA finals, again, I think Denver's the team to beat. For the NHL, I'm going with Vegas. I believe that they have the home ice advantage. I believe Saturday it starts off in Vegas. You got to go with them, in my opinion. But I'm not sure. Again, I'm a New Yorker. I'm a Rangers fan, but we got sent home early this year.
And Vegas, they put on quite the show. Hence, Vegas, they really live up to their name, and the fans just get into it big time. They have the best fans.
So I haven't actually been out to Vegas to see a game. I would love to go. I haven't been. I believe they've only been around for 6 years now. But you know what? They won a I shouldn't say championship. They won a Stanley Cup in those 6 years. So that's quite impressive. Would love to see them do it again. And that's the only fun thing too that I see is when you don't have a horse in the race, you kind of just want to see a good game.
That's right. And let's take that break right here to mention our sponsor at All Point Sports here, Edge Remodeling. Edge Remodeling, Franklin Square, Long Island, owned by Eddie Edge. Eddie Edge, fully licensed and insured for all your home needs, all your home remodels. You're building, you're adding on, you're putting on an addition. Unbelievable work. Eddie Edge, Edge Remodeling, Franklin Square. You familiar with Franklin Square, Adam?
I am familiar with Franklin Square. I love Long Island. It's a beautiful place. I have a lot of family there. I'll have to recommend them to them. You never know when you need a good handyman. So it's good to have somebody, and if you guys recommend them, I trust them. So I will be sure to pass on the information and hopefully, they will use them.
Cool. Yeah, he's a great guy. And what a family. And they'll be up at Villa Roma. We'd like to take care of our own, as they say, at Villa Roma. Many small business owners, including Adam, 914 Homes, big real estate mogul. That's how I describe Adam E., the real estate mogul from the Westchester area.
The name dropper.
Got to be savvy in Westchester. That's where the Doc Holliday's from, Westchester and the Valhalla area. And it's really evolved over the years. It's got a lot of history, and the homes there are just magnificent. And if you want to be in the hub in that New York City area, within what, Adam, 36 miles out to White Plains, Valhalla area, Pleasantville, some really nice homes out that way, and the development has just taken off.
Yeah, Toll Brothers is building all over the place. We also have private builders building all over, lots of renovations going on with older homes. It's really awesome to see. Love to make half the name for myself that Doc Holliday has. He's a legend back here in Westchester. And, a lot of us go up to the Villa Roma and see him. And it's great to see all the things that he's doing there.
Well, I tell you what, there's a guy I went to high school with, Nick Saldi. I don't know if you're familiar with Saldi Construction and Excavating. They're out of Westchester County, Valhalla area. Is where Nick went to school. We went to Valhalla High School, but what a company there. And many of those folks go up into the Catskills area for vacations, and who knew it? Yeah, I didn't know it growing up, but it's a small world.
It's amazing, to see. So I always grew up going week 32, which is about the second, third week in August, and have gone there since I was a baby. Starting in about high school, I started going up week 7, President's Week. And you know what? It was funny because I went to Iona Prep for high school. I didn't know it, but about 5 or 6 friends were there as well. And once we got on the slopes, I said, wow, this is awesome. And it became a yearly tradition when we were in high school. It was great. A lot of friends from Westchester and Long Island. Bobby, how did a Jersey guy like you get into it?
Yeah.
Let's just say about 42 years ago, my parents were on one of those church trips, day trips and stuff they still have there. And I guess they fell in love with the idea and the place. And a few months later, we bought the first timeshare. I mean, I'm there so long now. I'm actually in the main house.
Wow.
And
That's
then
the
our
VIP
relatives,
for
our
those that
relatives and
don't
friends are
know.
in. Our relatives and friends are in 1 and 3. So, we'd all been there a long time. And at the peak, with all my cousins and aunts and uncles, there must have been week 31, close to 50 people of our group just alone that go up there. It's starting to go down a little bit now. Who's getting older, who doesn't want to go anymore. But, there'll still be a nice following on week 31.
Every week in the summer, you can't go wrong. It's exciting. There's always fun things to do. I love it. It's always a good time, no matter the age, and you don't have to get on an airplane to go.
That's right. That's
Very
right.
Bobby,
Within
I have
driving distance.
got to wish you a happy birthday, a happy belated birthday.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Did you do anything fun to celebrate?
Yeah, I worked all weekend.
Oh, well, you love what you do, so it's
Yeah.
not really work, right?
It was a long weekend. I had 4 gigs at the hotel. I had a wedding to do Saturday afternoon for 2 employees. So it was a crazy weekend, but it was fun.
That sounds awesome. Now, are you going to be there all summer?
Oh, yeah, right. I believe so.
That's
I
great.
believe so.
Yeah, I think after I'm there the next 2 weekends, and I have a weekend off, and then I think right after that, I'll probably come up that Thursday, Friday, and be there almost 3 months straight.
Wow, awesome.
Live-in DJ.
That's
I'm
great.
bringing all my broadcast stuff. I'm hoping to get my last thing I'm hoping to get is a drone, so we can start doing some live overhead turtle races and stuff.
Maybe we could do a live show from there, all three together.
Oh, we're hoping to do every Wednesday night. Once I'm up there full time in about 4 weeks or so, that we'll do a live show, probably a little bit earlier because I got a DJ at 10 o'clock. But we're trying to figure out where and what room, what area. I mean, Doc and I will be live, and anybody else, I know you'll be popping in. I know Doc's son John will be there for July 4th weekend.
Awesome.
So I mean, we might do a lot of promo spots as well. Like we'll do a quick 15-minute broadcast here and there, and I'm there all summer. So, I'm going to be launching some of my material over the summer. And hey, if there's some breaking sporting news, Doc and I, either together or separately, will break the news.
That sounds great.
Sounds great.
We got what is it? July 1st is usually the day for NBA free agency to hit. So that could be exciting 4th of July week. We got the baseball All-Star game that week. That could be a great week, along with the Villaroma fireworks.
Yeah, fireworks on the 4th, Bronx Wanderers on the 3rd. It's going to be a big time summer, and a new group came in today and rocked the house. And that's Roz Brown and the Sound of Motown. I put a little live clip. I did a bigger one on Instagram, one on Facebook. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Went out then during the end song, greeted everyone in the audience personally, then went in the back while her band stayed on stage playing music and greeted everyone as they left the room. It
Wow.
was so personal, so loving. It was exciting. They were asking for her autograph. Roz Brown.
I
Wow,
love
that
that.
band was kicking, kicking.
And you know what? That's like the Villaroma charm, though. That's the go in the back, say hello to the fans, say hello, greet everybody. That's what you two guys do. That's what Marty has always done. That's what Paul has always done. It's a family place, family atmosphere.
And you mentioned that, Adam. You have a good point there, because I think Doc and I, time permitting, for me especially, we're going to start doing some backstage work too. When the
Oh,
comedians come on and have a little chat with them before they go on. Get the laughter going early, and we'll see. We have a lot of
behind the scenes work.
ideas.
I like it.
And then I'm thinking, what do they call it? A man on the street. I'll go up, ask some trivia questions, and maybe for some Villaroma bucks or something. Let's see how good the guests are with sports trivia.
I like it. That would be a lot of fun. You do that in the club forum, or maybe one day out by the pool.
Sure.
That would be a lot of fun.
I was even thinking not just sports. I see that all the time. Maybe some current events, some pop culture.
Maybe some Villaroma trivia. Like,
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. Good point. There, we have to ask. We have to have a series of questions based on how long you've been going up there, right? That will kind of cater the questions towards your length. Like if if you're there a long time like I am, Ray Boom Boom Mancini worked out there before a big fight. You know that Frankie Valli in the Four Seasons, before they hit it big for a second time, was there on stage. So I mean it's a good idea, but we have to cater the questions towards how long you've known the Villaroma. If you're new, obviously a little tougher. But some of the people they have long memories, and Doc has an idea of doing a Catskill podcast about the history of the Catskills and whatnot. So that could tie in very well with that.
That would be fun. That would be fun to hear from all the people that not only went to Villaroma but the other resorts. I mean, there was so many up there back in the day. It's a pretty cool place to be.
And just it's eroding very, very quickly, as you know, Adam, and that's one of the things I came up 11 years ago. One of my goals was not just to bring the guests back to Villaroma, but the condo owners back to the condos and people back to the area. This is a place where you can just make memories with your family, and it's what you make it. It's not just what I make it; it's what you make it.
Exactly. It's the charm of the Villaroma. You know what? I always say that, everyone's your family. You go there, you catch up with everybody, you love it. The guests, the employees, it's a lot of fun. And then what Doc brings to the table is extra. But you know what? He goes over the top. It's a lot of extra. You can see the hard work that he and Joy put in. And you know what? It's nice. I had my nieces and nephews up there recently, and they went over to Holiday Farm, and they couldn't stop telling me about the pony rides and the rabbit and all the fun things there are for the kids to do there. So it's not just for us sports enthusiasts to watch Yankee games up the mezzanine and to talk sports. You could also have fun with the kids.
That's right. And I remember them, Adam, and I said, Adam, he's my uncle. Yeah, he's my uncle.
And Adam, we already have a plan where when the Mets and Yankees play head to head, we're gonna have some fun up there on the mezzanine, and even
Oh,
on the show itself. Hopefully we'll get Fred Rubino, who's a Yankee fan, versus Chris Monty, the Mets fan. That'll be a pretty fun week. But
Yeah.
we'll see.
two
Way to go,
funny
Yankees.
guys. I like it. And then I remember for a while you guys had your good friend Joe Causey up there broadcasting live. That was a good time too for WCVS FM. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, the Welcome to Summer weekends. They kind of were deterred with the COVID and all. We're trying to get him back. Joe's a great guy. He's a staple here at the Villa Roma. They come up with the family and all the friends family fun. Week 30. That's a huge week here at the Villa Roma. White night and all these Hawaiian night and all these different themes that they have going on, and they just come up and do their own thing. Each week has its own flair. They always ask me what's the best week, but I can tell you that every week has its own little something.
Every
I
week
mean,
is special.
yes, I mean week 33 with the Accardis and the caterers and bringing up big trays of Sicilian food, and it's just one big party.
I tell you, I had fun this weekend. Real quick, Adam, I had fun this weekend. I'm walking the halls now, and around the hotel, and little guy about 5 years old, all of a sudden sees me, and his eyes go wide open. He goes, "Mommy, that's the DJ." And so this year should be fun, being my second time around, and knowing more people, and being more familiar with who's coming up what week. And so I'm looking forward to the summer. Summer's gonna be fun.
That's awesome. I remember as a kid, we used to play the softball games there. Now there was timeshare buildings built where they are because the Villa Roma expanded so much because it was loved. But it's up on the hill there. Used to love the staff versus guest softball games. Maybe we could do something with that and do a live stream and see who wins.
I'd like that. The softball field,
it's a hike to get to, but it's fun.
It is a hike. But it looks like if you hit the ball in left field, there's a chance it could go all the way down to the Villa Roma.
It might end up in the pool. You never know. It could be like an Aaron Judge home run.
Yeah, there you go.
It's either that or we get our baseball gloves. We sit out at the edge of a Doc's property and have guys tee off on the first tee. If you can get over that, over the wall of trees, and we'll catch the ball. Yeah.
That would be fun too. Wow. Yeah, I hear a lot of.
I think also, Doc, this year, starting with the first week of summer, we should make an announcement or maybe put it on the sheet, right? Like on Sunday or Monday. If you are a qualified, and we have to define qualified. If you are a qualified pickleball player, we like to do some live matches. But you can't be that beginner, just like you gotta have we gotta maybe see you play first. Then we'll have one day we'll do a broadcast of live pickleball.
Maybe an intermediate match.
Yeah. I mean, it has to be a certain level. It can't be like the beginners, just hitting the ball. We gotta have fun with the play-by-play with that. But
well, we could have the qualifiers. We won't film the qualifiers. We'll have them go through the qualifiers, and then the best teams will film.
We'll rank them from there. Yeah.
Unless there's a good blooper, then maybe you can include that.
Yeah. That's
right. I would love to play pickleball, but I just see myself, being an attraction for a week afterwards. So I'll enjoy watching it and commentating on it.
Doc, you're gonna have to teach me how to play. I've never played, but I hear it's a lot of fun.
Oh, it's a lot of fun, and the rules are, it seem a little confusing in the beginning, but I teach it up here, and we volley, and by the end of the week, some of these players that said they've never played before are quite competitive. It's a lot of fun to watch.
Hey Doc, you mentioned that real quick. We can do a money-making little live or recorded learn pickleball series of videos.
You know what? One of the ladies that came with her children, she actually filmed the whole session because not all of her kids were there. And I thought she was just filming it for a memory, but she was filming it for that very reason, Bobby. What a great idea.
Yeah, because Adam, I showed a doctor picture last week, right around my birthday last week. I went to Dick's Sporting Goods to get my little Yeti cooler for the summer, drink more water as trying to get healthier. And as you're walking out of Dick's Sporting Goods in Paramus up here, whole wall as you're walking out to catch your eye of pickleball stuff,
Awesome.
paddles
Wow,
and balls and other stuff. So it's definitely a growing sport. And as we know, CBS Sports, TV and somewhere else, I think there are two major pickleball leagues coming out with some pretty big people financing the teams, backers and owners and
Wow.
stuff.
So I got to ask you guys now. So pickleball is a popular sport right now. What do you think of cornhole? To me, cornhole is a game you play with friends. Do you consider it a sport? Because now it's on ESPN, all these contests and all these crazy things going on.
During COVID, I mean, I don't really watch much TV, but I was skimming through and I had ESPN on, and I'm thinking I'm going to see Sports Center or something. And what do I see? Cornhole. I don't know. And they were wearing masks, for the COVID, and throwing the bean bag. I don't know.
I got one worse than that. I got one up on you.
What?
During COVID, cherry pit spinning contest. The cherry pits. I tell you, I wouldn't mind doing though. I'm gonna talk to Ryan about this. For Surge Sports, I wouldn't mind getting some. Ryan up there at Catskill Outdoor. Ryan, right? He does like the he's got actual leagues now of what do you call that? Archery.
Wow.
I think we can get on the air. That's gonna be a sport I'm willing to put on. So.
Archery is pretty cool. I've never tried it, but I don't think I'm coordinated enough to do it. But it'd be something I'd like to try. I remember back in the day when it was, the skeet shooting with the clay pigeons. That was a lot of fun.
That they had it right here at Villa Roma. Marty has asked me, do you want to do skeet shooting? He has 3 shotguns. That's something that definitely you need someone
Where
with
though?
safety.
Used to be where the buildings are.
Exactly.
But I think there's still a spot to do it. Maybe where that black diamond was in the back by the to the right of where the Fish and Pay is.
As long as it doesn't go through Doc's window,
There you go.
We're okay with it. It's funny. Once or twice we have had a golf ball go through our condo window. But you know what? It's the charm of being there. It's nice, and the golf course is beautiful there. It's a Villa Roma classic, and I heard there's been a lot of work being done on it. I heard it's beautiful now, even more beautiful than it's been in the past.
It's going on now. They're putting a new irrigation system in. Last year, all new tee boxes. This is a championship course, and when the new irrigation system is finally done, it's going to be that much better. This course is just simply beautiful.
Speaking of golf, the one sport I'm surprised they hasn't taken off. Obviously there's mini golf, right? But that's a lot of camera work and trickery and stuff. And that would be a pretty cool sport. Would be like a 3-putt course.
Oh,
because I've played golf before. I've stopped playing a long time ago, but I'm pretty sure I could pick up a wedge. What hole is that, Doc? Off with the overlook that goes down. That's my favorite hole in Villa Roma.
Is that the ninth hole?
Having a contest just on that hole, right? That'll be a fun sport, a fun thing to do.
Oh yeah.
You can never get the golf course, obviously, because it's always busy all the time. But I always thought like a 3-putt league, or they have them for social reasons. But even like a semi-professional, intermediate level, 3-putt league will be pretty cool.
They have some par 3 courses. They have some par 3s that are around.
Mini golf is more my speed, but I would give it a try.
Yeah, because everybody knows how to use a wedge, right? You have a wedge, you have like like a 9 iron, and a putter.
Yep.
So instead of now, what's everybody's biggest fear about playing golf? The tee off, right?
Yeah,
You're gonna
exactly.
screw up, and your ball ends up in your condo, right? Because you're slicing it all the time.
Or you miss the ball entirely.
Yeah, for everybody. But you know what? A nice 3-part with some cool, like, because they're already set up pretty cool. The 3 putts, the three pars, either over a little lake or a downhill one, which are pretty cool.
Well, one thing they were talking about here at the Villa Roma, and I was asked about what I thought is the disc golf. And I actually have a disc golf goal, a hole here at Holiday Farm. And we have some discs that we just play the one hole. But I'm thinking of a 18 hole. A lot of state parks have them, especially in Pennsylvania. But we could do it here at Villa Roma, and it's not a high cost thing. But it could be utilizing, let's say, the ski hill when it's not being utilized in the summer and spring. So I think that's something that would fly. It's a really fun sport. You throw frisbee at them?
I do. I like to throw a frisbee from that every now and then.
Now, have you thrown the disc compared to the frisbee? Have you ever thrown a disc?
I haven't. I basically stick to like Can Jam and those backyard games. But I'm always up for trying.
Yeah, the disc is very similar to the frisbee. They're different weights. They go different distances, and the lighter one being the putter disc. There's even a marker disc. But we set it up with that beautiful view in the background of the Catskill Mountains, and I don't even care if it goes in the goal. It's just it's just beautiful to be out there. The weather here right now is just the best it's been all season, except for we're a little worried that we need a little rain for the garden.
Oh, that's true.
Yes, Saturday again. Of course,
well,
once again, it's going to be 90 degrees the next couple of days, and it's going to cool down again. Why is this happening? Let's just stay consistent already. My God.
Well, it might mean snow's on its way. That means the Mets. That means the Mets will be there.
So now that we've talked Villa Roma and sports, the only sport we didn't cover is bowling. Since you have the bowling alley there, that was always a lot of fun. To go there and give it a shot on a rainy day. I mean, we always like sunny days on vacation, but occasionally, you get that rainy day, and it was always a fun spot to go to. Or
well, let me ask you this, Adam. It's funny you brought up the word bowling, the sport bowling, but being in this area and just miles from here on Route 97, right in the town of Callicoon, up on the bridge that I ran over as the Roman on my Segway. I rode over that for your commercial. Right at the end of that bridge is the bowling alley. And it's been for sale for how long, Adam? For years and years and years. I mean, as long as I've been here. Maybe it was open the very first year I was here. So maybe for at least 10 years it's been for sale. That bowling alley I don't know what it's like inside, but I mentioned it to someone and they said, hey, I would love to own a bowling alley. So they looked online. That bowling alley is for sale for $300,000. It's got a bar inside and it's got different things inside. I don't know if I would just turn that into pickleball. That would be like the central place to go and play pickleball right there. 300,000. I thought it would be way more, and probably you get it for much less. What do you think, Adam? You're the real estate guy.
Well, I always try to get my clients a good deal. So, we would definitely try and get it for a lot less. The real estate market in the Catskills is good. Things are coming back. Things are doing well. People want that second home. People are leaving Brooklyn and the city and moving up there with remote work. I think that could be a fun spot. And it seems like they have a liquor license there too. So, you might
for that price, you have to have a liquor license, right?
Yeah, you might get a nice weekend crowd there. It could be a lot of fun.
So how would I arrange to get a look-see?
We could definitely schedule that. I can look it up, and we could go take a look. Maybe we could bring up, you know, our our Wednesday night entertainer, because I hear that she will be up there this year, Mrs. Villaroma herself. So maybe they can come take a look too, because I know they're always filled with great ideas, right?
Who, Mama Villaroma?
Mama Villaroma
Yeah.
always has great ideas, and I'm really looking forward to that Wednesday night show. So I know that he's got great ideas, and if he's another Westchester guy, I believe Sleepy Hollow or so, and
Tarrytown.
Tarrytown,
Tarrytown.
and we can
Yeah.
see what ideas he has in mind too.
Of course, Adam's talking about my brother, Keith, aka Mama Villaroma. They'll be up here this summer, week 25, starting out week 25 every Wednesday night with the Sopranos. The Sopranos. It's
I
going to
saw the
be
ad. I'm so pumped. I'm so excited to see it. He always puts on a great show.
interactive theater. That's the way to go at Villaroma. It's going to be a fun summer, especially on Wednesday night.
I'm looking forward to it. And then perhaps, like you said, with the two comedians, Chris Monty, Fred Rubino, two Villaroma regular comedians, if we can get them on a sports show, would love to hear the two of them go at it, Yankees versus Mets. We usually get a Subway series around July, I believe. So, that would be awesome timing if you had the two of them there talking. And, maybe we could do like a little live looking at the game, and those guys are hilarious.
And then you also have the characters week 30, Joe Causey, Anthony Antico, Tommy Lexus. These guys, big sports guys. And of course, when it comes to Peter's Meat Market, no better place to stop by before going tailgating before a Yankee game in the Bronx. Pick up some of that Chevrolet sausage or the flank steak pinwheels, the stuffed chicken legs. Oh my, I'm getting hungry again, Adam.
It sounds good. Oh man, I wonder if some people did that before they went to the biggest event in MetLife Stadium. When they went to the Taylor Swift concert all weekend. It seems like that was the hottest thing in all of sports right now. There.
So she was there. Did she swim under the stage?
I don't know what I believe she was there for 3 nights, and
3
they
nights,
said,
yeah.
being that it was Memorial Day weekend, it was crazy. And they were saying that people usually sometimes go to a Giants game and they don't have tickets, but they get a parking pass and they go hang out in the parking lot and tailgate. They said for this, you weren't allowed to. They only allowed people in with tickets to the concert.
Oh wow!
This was a big event. It's kind of like that 4th of July fireworks event in Villaroma. You need a good seat. It's a great event to get to. Well, the whole county comes out.
Hey, what do you think? It's not October, so it's not a trunk or treat. What do you think about it? Just a big tailgate party.
You know what? Those are always a lot of fun. What do you think, Bob?
Always.
Best, and we'll have a contest. Best tailgate food.
Oh, I like it. We have a lot of good chefs that they can grill, they can do whatever they want. I'm always up for sampling. I mean, you started the cannoli eating contest, which is a great contest there. It always reminds me of the Nathan's 4th of July hot dog eating contest with Joey Chestnut and those guys.
And I love when Joe Causey hosts it. He really pumps the guys up and the ladies. Of course, no discrimination here. And the first one to eat 12 mini cannolis, that's a sport in itself, right, Bobby?
Yeah. Give me pizza. Give me tacos. Give me veal cutlets. I'm good.
Veal cutlets.
Doc, so is there a secret? Is there any secret strategy that you have for the contestants of the competitive eating for the cannoli eating contest?
Well, I've seen different methods. Now, there's a guy, Nick, from week 32. He holds actually the record of 1 minute 18 seconds, 1 minute 17 seconds to eat 12. And I actually was watching him. He was putting two. He was eating two at once, where everybody else was eating one.
Wow.
So when I looked down, he was just about done. He was putting two in his mouth at the same time, and and you have to have good teeth. You have to have really good teeth.
How's that
Uh,
possible? The cream is so
Yeah, it made me
dry.
thirsty, right?
yeah,
That's a dry cream right there in cannolis.
I know, and he was actually like shaking when it was over. He wanted that record so bad. Now I've seen other methods, not as fast. The dunkers, the dunkers taking a whole cannoli and dunking it in water or milk,
Ooh.
and then it gets soft. And that guy won.
Well, that's the key for the the Joey Chestnuts of the world for the
Yes,
hot
to
dogs.
make the bun into
They put it
water.
in
Yeah.
water, which is ugh.
I don't know how they do it. I mean, I like to watch it, but it's not something I've ever competed in. It's pretty cool to see, though. On the 4th of July when they have the competitive eating with the hot dog event, it's cool to see Nathan's out there.
Well, I've been in the contest 2 times, not the Nathans, but the cannoli,
Oh,
and I got down to the 12th cannoli 2 times, and then I said, "What am I doing?" But I lost to a 16-year-old Girl Scout. She had the 12th one. We both were holding number 12 in our hand, and we looked at each other and both put number 12 in our mouth at the same time, and she just outchewed me. She outchewed me.
wow.
And the
I didn't
same
know
thing
you.
happened the next week.
I want a camera crew to follow Joey Chestnut after the event. The
Yeah,
24
yeah.
to 36 hours afterwards. Follow him around because somehow he's doing the nasty somewhere.
Yeah.
All those hot dogs. It's got to be disgusting.
Oh, I wouldn't move. I wouldn't be able to move. I would be passed out on that platform up in Coney Island. I wouldn't be going anywhere. I'd just pass out right there.
Wow.
So, do we have any update in the Yankee game or Met game? I believe the Yankee game.
Oh, look now. Yankees having game has started. Let me get my app here.
Just tell me Aaron Judge. Please tell me Aaron Judge has hit a home run. I would love to hear that news.
Yeah, the Marlins are a ninth inning win. The Mets are 4-1 final. They won.
Okay.
And the Yankees are in the end of the second, no score.
I always love to see Philly go down. So it's nice to see the Mets beat them. It was always went to college in Scranton, Pennsylvania, right near the Villaroma, about an hour away, and we had a lot of Philadelphia people there. We had some Boston people and some New York people. So it was
Where'd you
always a
go,
vibe
Adam?
to the University of Scranton, right?
Very nice.
So I enjoyed it, but we had some great sports rivalries there between the Philadelphia fans. Really didn't get many Pittsburgh people because it's too far north, but it was really Philly, New York versus and Boston. And to this day, those Philly fans get under my skin.
For two seasons, I broadcasted Lackawanna football, JUCO,
Oh, awesome.
that old stadium, which is a great field, but needs elevators because that's a hell of a walk at this age.
So
They're toting equipment.
the Yankees AAA team was playing there for a while. I'm not sure if they still do at Montage Mountain up
Yes,
in
yes, they still play there.
which they used to be fun to catch a game there. Inexpensive ticket, and you never know who was going to come up. You never know who comes from those teams. I always love supporting minor leagues.
You mentioned Yankees. I think between Scranton and what's that? It's not Newburgh, right? Where's the double A? Hudson
Hudson Valley
field over
Renegades.
there. The Renegades, yeah. I mean, that's like an hour away each way. I mean, you got the Martian and the Hudson Renegades field. You got, of course, the AAA players in Scranton. So I'm thinking maybe one Sunday we take a ride.
You also have the in Allentown, Pennsylvania, about an hour away from Scranton, not even 45 minutes. You have the Iron Pigs.
Iron Pigs.
So that's another stadium that has come just, in the recently in the past 10 years, 12 years.
I was told
The
the Rockland Boulders is a good team to watch. That it's a lot of fun. It's an inexpensive family night out if you want to see a nice baseball game, to check them out. Right over the bridge there. I've been meaning to go and check it out. A few of my buddies go there with their kids during the summer, and they say it's a great time.
Yeah, I've been to the one in Wilkes-Barre, and when I was at Split Rock, Jack Callen's the owner. He had seasons tickets, and a lot of times he'd just say, "Hey, I can't go." He says, "Can you give them away?" And I'd give them away as a prize, or I'd have an orientation and just say, "Hey, are you guys wanting to go to a ball game tonight?" And I can't tell you how many people that I gave tickets to, including myself, when I could go. We couldn't go to too many games, but I think even A-Rod rehab down there. They did change the field. It used to be an AstroTurf field when they were affiliated with another ball club. But then when they went to the Yankees, they took the AstroTurf out and put the real grass down so they could mirror the major league club.
Conditions, yeah.
And good stuff, and it's a fun time, and close to home.
I really enjoyed it when I went to games there. It was fun to see because you never knew who was going to play that night. Like if the Yankees were going to send somebody, or if somebody was coming up that was real good. It almost reminded me of going to like a spring training game because you can see a lot of the young guys there.
Yeah, they shoot T-shirts in the audience, and they have events in between. That's when I was with minor league baseball with the Catskill Cougars. That's what so that's what it's all about, making that experience and making that memory for the child that's going to take on sports for their life and become a dedicated fan. You got to hit them when they're young, especially with the PR for baseball. Give them something to look forward to.
It's so true. Yep. And then hopefully they go home, they play it, they enjoy it, and they become a fan and watch it. And
And
then
the major league, but
you
the
never
major
know.
league clubs, they're so willing to, like, if you ask for anything, any kind of we worked with the Mets and the Yankees, and they would send merchandise, or they would send tickets for different events. They were always so willing to do it, and that's something that Major League Baseball is very well known for, is giving back to the community.
They are. The Major League Baseball is great. They do a lot for the community. I see occasionally Rob Manfred. He lives over in Terrytown in the Sleepy Hollow area there, and at church on Sundays, at Make a Wish Foundation events, always supporting. A friend of mine did a charity baseball tournament, and he was there. He threw out the first pitch. I find baseball really does those players, and the MLB likes to give back, and that's great. Because then you don't mind supporting them and spending your paycheck on a game.
That's right. And Bobby, give us an update on the minor league stadium out there where Patterson, Newark area.
I got very disappointed. I was supposed to, the high school I broke us for St. Mary's. We're in the hat now. We're supposed to play in Hinchcliffe Stadium, which was a old Negro League stadium, one of only two that are still around. Wow. So it was decrepit for years, and they finally pumped a lot of money into it. And there was a tournament supposed to have been played there on May 7th on a Sunday. That unfortunately the stadium wasn't quite ready yet, so they had to move it to William Patterson University. But yeah, that's the new home of the Jackals, who I believe is the same league as the team Adam was talking about over there in Hudson. The
Hudson Valley Renegades.
No, the other one,
the Rockland Boulders.
The Rockland Boulders. I think that's the same league. I think it's the Jackals, the Boulders, some team in Quebec. think it's like 4 or 5 teams they go. They just rotate and play all year round. But yeah, unfortunately, yeah, the field wasn't ready in time, and I didn't get a chance to broadcast there. But would have been
That would have
cool.
been
But
pretty cool. Yeah.
Is it
well, a lot of
ready
history in
now,
that place.
Bobby? Is the
What's that?
field ready now?
Yeah, they've had some games, high school games. The famous East Side High School from the old Morgan Freeman movie. There, what movie is that? Remember we played Principal Clark in the movie. That's East Side High School. That's a pretty well known high school. They played there. So as State County Tech, and I believe the Jackals start the season soon, so they'll be there as well.
Bobby, so you're pretty involved with baseball in the Jersey area.
No, I do. Well, I'm fortunate to have this little broadcasting thing I do and be able to have it grow and but not too fast. I think the growth is going to be happening in the next couple of years. I have 2 great sophomores at St. Mary's who do a lot of broadcasting with me or for me. If I can't make a game now for whatever reason, they have the equipment, they set it up, they do the broadcast, they break it down. So Eli and Jack are other names. For basketball, we had about a 5-person crew, and I'm hoping with the school itself next year to have a whole program going where we do all facets of news, entertainment, for the school and let it grow from there. But yeah, baseball was always. I mean, I grew up on Phil Rizzuto, so while we have Joey Jarzenko, who's Doc knows him. He's my number 2 guy in my organization and a Villa Roman guest. He went to St. John's for sports broadcasting. I just learned on the fly, and I'm teaching these kids how to really broadcast from what I've learned all these years. And then Joey's going to step in next year and mentor 1 or 2 of the guys as well, and just let it grow. I mean, I was hoping to get something going up there this summer with some of the high school basketball, maybe get a summer league going, but I think it's a little too late for that. But I'll find something to do.
What goes into your mind frame when you get ready to broadcast a game? Like, how do you get ready? Like, we see how players get ready. They do a little warm up. What do you do before you broadcast? And which would you say?
My kid, I've taught the kids really to, get prepared, know who we're gonna play, know their record, their conference, who their best players are. So they come with these clipboards full of notes and whatnot, and they read them off during the broadcast. Now Saturday, excuse me, if there's a game and it should be if the rain holds off in time, I'm gonna DJ Friday night. I'm gonna leave 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning and fly down to the field, and I'm gonna be pumped up because hey, they win Saturday. It's a sectional state championship. So that's gonna be pretty cool. So, and for me, I just I love teaching the kids, and they're like sponges, and they love basketball, and since I have them all prepared now, next year we'll bring in football as well, because if I can't make it for whatever reason, being up there doing my responsibilities, I know I can trust them, and they are more than capable and excited to do the games themselves. So yeah, my mindset is just really entertain. I mean, the bottom line is for me is entertaining the listeners, the viewers.
And is there a
Phil
sport?
Rizzuto, as Doc knows, was great. I don't know if you ever heard Phil Rizzuto, Adam, or not. If you remember Phil Rizzuto as a broadcaster, but he was great.
I know the name. I know he's a legend. I know he's a legend.
Would be in the booth, right? He'd be doing the game, and all of a sudden you see lightning in the distance, and he was out of there. He's afraid of lightning. Whoever the backup broadcaster would just come in and finish the game because he wanted to get his ass home. He don't want to be
Can't
stuck
blame him.
And supposedly, not Michael K, the other guy,
John Sterling.
John Sterling lives right around. He lives in Edgewater, which is right over the bridge in right down the road from me, east. So he's not that far away. He's an older guy himself. He's in his 80s with a young family, and so but he must have a driver, and he just goes across the bridge, goes to the game, and comes right back home. I think that's the name of the game. But I enjoy doing that. My mindset is just really to be prepared and entertain, and You know, I teach the kids. You got to paint, especially with audio. Cause we do audio and visual, audio and video. You know, I want to paint the picture because you know if you're doing audio only work, you got to be able to give that visual. What you got to explain what you're seeing to your listening audience.
I like that. Yeah, you have to paint the picture.
And then as far as video is concerned, it's just more of you know adding a little entertainment value. Especially with baseball. Baseball is such a you know basketball and football are really fast moving sports, but baseball, as we all know, has breaks in between. You know, timeout on the mound. There's a mound meeting. There's a, you know there's an injury. There's a so you got to be able to you know have some stories or stats or something ready to go because at any given moment in baseball, the action just stops, right? And then you
That's
got
the
to be able
thing.
to
Yeah, it can lag a
jump
little.
on
So
and say something.
yeah, so you really have to be knowledgeable then to do baseball because basketball, football, hockey, you just have to be quick. You have to know your facts, but you have to be quick. But baseball, I guess you have to be real knowledgeable to pull stories from the past and know the upcoming schedule and things of that nature.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
no,
they have they
basketball's fun. Basketball's fun. Football, I think, is the to me the best one to broadcast because there's so much action going on. Football's the only one though, and it's really the only sport where you know you need a spotter because there's so much going on that you got to be able to. You know, you're watching the ball. There might have been a huge block on the other side of the line. That was a key to the play that you're probably going to miss unless there's a spotter there to show you, what's going on.
You don't want somebody on the field knocking into you either when you're on the call there. I'm sure football's a little dangerous if you're close to the field, depending where you are.
Yeah, I think baseball has the element of for the most part we're safe, but sometimes we do if I do a road game, I got to set up where I think is best to give a view, and and also watch out for foul balls. We have our Mr. John. There he is.
Yeah, John.
How we doing?
Not too bad. We're just talking a little baseball here, a little broadcasting stuff, and what's going on in your neck of the woods.
Just getting off work. Figure I'll try to jump in for the last hour and see how everybody's doing. Talk a little sports.
I think we have about 15 more minutes to go. Not too much going on right now. We're kind of like in between sports right now, but yeah, we'll be on.
Okay.
Yes, how's your Atlanta Braves doing, John?
Well, we dropped 2 games to the worst team in baseball, the Oakland A's, and it was pretty rough. But we ended up winning today 4-2. We got to get better starting pitching. But our best 2 starters are out. One's on the 60-day DL, one's on a 30-day DL. And the bullpen's just been a mess. But we're still in first place. So that's what matters.
So with the Mets
So
just
John, how's
beating the Phillies,
go on.
you worried about the Mets, John?
Oh, you have to be. They have they're a loaded team, and they're gonna get it together, and it's a long season. So right now they're 4 games back, and now's the time to do it while we're banged up.
So John, what's the here in your neck of the woods? What's the reaction to the Denver Nuggets? Hopefully going for their first ever NBA championship.
Yes, I go. So this weekend I leave to go to Drill, which is located in Denver, Colorado. So it is just pandemonium down there for their first time ever making it, and with the team they have and playing team ball, it's going to be absolutely nuts.
Really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a good series. I think Denver's going to come out on top, but I'm looking forward to them hopefully getting their first NBA Finals win.
Yeah, like I said, Miami. I think Miami. If you read between the lines in some of the articles, the past few weeks, Miami, they made a trade late for Kevin Love. They got healthier. They lost some players. Some came back, some didn't. And they just as a team said, look, let's just make the playoffs, and we know what we have here, and we can make a serious run, and they have. And like I mentioned before, they lost that first game in the playoffs in the
play-in
playing
tournament.
games.
Yep.
They lost that first game, and still now they're in the final. That's amazing.
And
Tyler Hero is back next week.
Tyler Hero. They're talking game 3. He should be back. Now, what do you guys think? Should they start Tyler Hero like he's been? He averaged 25 and 5 during the season. Or do you phase him in? You let him come off the bench. I mean, I go back and forth because I'm thinking, all right, you got a guy that gave you 25 and 5. Throw him in. It's the NBA Finals. Or do you say, you know what? Caleb Martin has played well. Our guys are balling. Let's have him come off the bench. We don't want him to get hurt again.
Yeah,
I think he use them in.
I'm definitely having them come off the bench and try to ease them in that way, because they've been gelling on all cylinders with everybody that is playing, and Caleb Martin has just been lights out with the time he's getting. Max Strus, Duncan Robinson wasn't even playing. Now he's playing. Gabe Vincent, just everybody is a shooter, and they're spreading that ball around. So if I'm Tyler Hero, I'm definitely trying to get healthy and contribute, but I have him coming off the bench.
Yeah, it's a tough call. I mean, you don't want to mess up the chemistry. I like what you're saying. And before you jumped on, we were actually talking like minor league sports, and the Heat have a lot of those G League undrafted guys, and like Caleb Martin. That they went to these guys when they had Victor Oladipo go down with an injury. They had Tyler Hero go down with an injury. I believe they had another major player go down with an injury. And then you also have Kyle Lowry, who is an NBA champion, but for a while wasn't doing his thing. But he really stepped it up in the recent.
Well, Adam, if you hadn't heard, you weren't on when John was on before, the G League out in South Dakota. Tell him where it is, John.
Yep, the Sioux Falls Skyforce is the Miami Heat affiliate of the G League. And Gabe Vincent and Duncan Robinson both played for the Sioux Falls Skyforce and now are in the NBA Finals.
That's awesome.
That makes all the sense in the world.
South Dakota, by way of South Dakota.
It makes all the sense in the world to have your team in South Dakota when you're down there in Florida. But
it's really weird.
What's up, Scott? My buddy Scott checking in from New Mexico. So we have viewers down there as well.
Yeah.
There we go.
When the Knicks had Westchester Knicks come to Westchester for their G League team, I purchased season tickets. And up until COVID, I always went to the games. It was great for networking. It was so much fun. Players would come by and support because the practice facility was 5 miles away. So it was awesome to meet everybody, have some come down. You never know who was going to play. You had guys that came down from the NBA, and then you have guys work their way back up. Jimmer Fredette was a lot of fun to watch him just shoot threes. Trey Burke was there. But then you had guys that came up out of nowhere, and you're like, wow, Langston Galloway was the first Knick call-up from the G League. And it was actually the D League then. And it was a lot of fun to see. So I love how you're saying, about Caleb Martin and these guys playing in the NBA Finals. It's huge. It's awesome to support these minor league teams because you never know where they'll end up. It's really cool to see the progression.
Right.
Yeah, you hear about career minor leaguers, especially in baseball, but it like you said, it's exciting in sports to see a no name or someone that didn't get the accolades early on to make it.
About 2 years ago, there was a player, Andre Ingram, that was on the Lakers G League team, and he was on the team 10 years, 15 years, maybe even. He finally, in the year he was going to retire, played 2 games for the Lakers. It was awesome to see him get up there and play. Stories like that, everyone likes to root for the underdog. It's a lot of fun. It's interesting to see. And this guy, like he was in his 40s, he got to show his kids, like, okay, like I'm in the pro game. All the time I paid in the G League paid off. So it's pretty cool to see. I have a lot of respect for those guys.
And
Well, I know
another
Bobby's movie, John's movie, and my movie, favorite movie, Rudy, the underdog. Notre Dame, baby.
And another cool story with Caleb Martin, he has a twin, Cody Martin, that plays for the Charlotte Hornets. And before this year, Caleb Martin got cut, and they kept Cody Martin, his twin brother. So he was out of the league, and he was playing pickup ball this summer. And then the rapper J. Cole saw him in North Carolina, where he's from, and he said, "Hey, what team picked you up?" He said, "Nobody. Nobody's called me." So he gets on the phone and calls Caron Butler and Spoelstra, said, "You got to work this guy out." So they give him a 10-day, and the rest is history.
Yeah, that's great. It pays to have good friends. That's why I stay close with Doc. I need I need friends in high places.
Yeah. What a story, John.
Yes.
And next year they're actually, you know about the college and pro game. Each NBA team has two what they call two-way players, which means they can play, with the main team, and if there's a break or if they need some playing time, they go play for the G League team. But when they play for the pro team, they get paid more, obviously. But each team's allowed two of them to go two-way players. Next year it'll be three. So that's gonna only add to the chance of some of these players getting noticed and sticking around longer and making a decent little pay for themselves.
Yeah, I mean, there's a big difference in pay between the G League and the NBA, but those two-way players get paid a lot more, decent of a wage, and it's fun to see them play. This year, I went up to a few games in Bridgeport, Connecticut. Can't think of the arena that it was where they were playing, but that's where the Westchester Knicks were playing their home games. And one of the more recent games I saw was against a team from out west. Andre Miller, the former Denver Nugget, was the head coach for the team. It was pretty cool to say, like, oh, wow, like that's Andre Miller. And with the G League, like you go to a game, you're sitting a row from the court. You're sitting 2 rows from the court, and it's like $20. Like we're not talking, like crazy money for the NBA. So it's cool to like say, like, oh yeah, like I was there, I saw him. So from seeing Andre Miller play with Allen Iverson and Philly, and then seeing him in Denver, it's pretty cool. That was like my highlight of the G League this season.
I think this, with more G League like that, this could lead to more expansion in the NBA. You never know. That's more ticket sales, more money. There's a lot of big cities out there that want to represent, and it could put some more teams in the league. What do you think, John?
LeBron James has said that he wants a team in Vegas, and he's a billionaire, and LeBron usually gets what LeBron wants. So I wouldn't be surprised, if Adam Silver, the commissioner, said okay when he retires and he gets a team there. I believe there's actually a G League team in Mexico now, so you never know if there's going to become an NBA team there. I wouldn't be surprised. We got Toronto in Canada. We had Vancouver there. So you know what? It's cool to see them expanding. But the players now, they don't like to travel. We got in this whole load management era. We need those old guys like we were talking about, Charles Oakley, where you play 82 games and you play hurt, you go all out.
Josh Hart, baby, next year. Yep. I can't help but look at John's screen. It looks like it's light out where you're at. Where are you at, John?
Yeah, I'm making the drive home on Highway 79 between Hot Springs, South Dakota, trying to make my way to Rapid City, South Dakota. and we're kind of like in the hail season where it's getting warmer, but then it starts to rain and then hail's behind it. But that went through, and now it's sunny out, a couple of rainbows, and still bright.
You ever
Any
see a live
buffalo?
tornado, John?
I've never seen a live tornado, but we do get them here.
And what about buffalo?
Up here, West
Any
Coast.
buffalo out there?
Oh yeah, there's buffalo are roaming. Like where y'all are at, you can see cows, but here it's just normal to see buffalo. So it's pretty wild.
It looks beautiful. Like Doc said, I'm looking at your screen, and you just see the beautiful sky there. It's a lot different than here in New York.
When I go to Villaroma, I get the full range of emotions with the cows. You have the happy farms where they're dairy cows, then you have the other farms that are not dairy farms. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So, Doc, since you do a lot of farming, is there any truth to the old saying, like if a cow's laying down, it's going to rain, but if it's standing up, it's not? Or is that just like an old wives' tale?
I think old wives' tale.
Yeah, because if it was about me, I sit down a lot, so it would rain an awful lot.
Yeah. Yeah, and there are an awful
So,
lot
John,
of cows up this way. Go ahead, Bobby.
So, John, what's your thoughts about the hockey tournament, the hockey finals? What do you like?
Well, I'm leaning towards the Knights to win, but it is awesome with Florida getting there and then being right there with the Heat making it as well, and so they're definitely trying to win and be a party town. But I got the Knights winning that one, and I have Denver coming out on top in the NBA Finals.
I agree with both of those.
Yeah, I'm with them. I mean, either way, it's going to be a compelling, obviously, much-watched TV.
Yes.
Yeah, Florida, they're the underdogs. They're going to, like Scott said, it's going to be tough. Florida, they're 2 8 seeds going against some giants. And hey, and if Vegas wins, right, all of a sudden they got 2 championships in a year because they did win the WNBA championship.
That's right. What is it, the Aces, right?
The Aces, yeah. And now Tom Brady's all in the business now of Las Vegas too. Now he's a part owner of the Aces. He's going to be part owner of the Raiders soon. Who knew, right? Tom Brady was this big Vegas guy.
Wow.
Yeah, you think a wholesome guy, but hey, he's a businessman too.
Yeah, I mean that's Tom Brady, the football
to me,
player.
The reality show.
But no, you want to see Tom Brady, the GOAT. You come to Little Holiday Farm. Tom Brady, the little miniature GOAT. He's living the life over here.
Got to get some video on him this summer.
Yes, right.
I'll tell you, I'm not a reality show guy, but one reality show I would love to see, all these dating shows and whatnot. Give me a reality show of A-Rod and Tom Brady, 2 single guys on the prowl. That is much see TV because
A-Rod was at a lot of the Miami Heat games this year. I saw him courtside at a few of them, so he must be living in Miami. I saw Derek Jeter was at one too with his wife. I was like, oh, it would have been nice if Jeter showed up when the Knicks were in town, but can't complain.
Yeah, I know he's part owner of the Minnesota Timberwolves as well.
Timberwolves,
yeah. He actually had Anthony Edwards with him at one of the games, so that's pretty cool to see. Like a really good basketball player with one of the better baseball players of all time. There, he's got to be able to mentor, maybe not sports-wise, but management-wise, league-wise. What it's like to be a great player in sports.
Yeah, he's been there. He's done that.
But yeah, I was excited to see Jeter was there. Maybe one of these days we'll get him at the Garden. I would love to see him become an owner again. I don't know what he's going to be doing or what he's up to. He always says whenever he comes out of like his hibernation, I got some exciting things going on. So it'd be cool to see what he's up to, just because it seems like such a good guy, and he's always a fan favorite.
I'm thinking maybe at the Villa Roma. Jeter at the Villa Roma. Maybe Derek Jeter buys the Villa Roma.
Wow. I like it. I like it. Paul and Marty are great, but I think even they would agree. Derek Jeter takes it to a new level. I think Paul is actually a Yankee fan, if I remember. He's from the Bronx.
Yes. And a Manhattan Jasper.
Yep. I believe he said he was a Cardinal Spellman guy and a Manhattan Jasper. So, I think he would approve. He might even give Jeter a deal.
That's right.
Well, although it should be the reverse when you're talking with Jeter's money.
But Derek, if you're watching right now, contact us. We'll set you up with Villa Roma. I'm sure the price tag is right up your alley. It's in a beautiful location. And maybe we even put a new ball field in.
I like it. Jeter Field.
We shall at least have a pickleball franchise coming out of Villa Roma.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
The Villa Romans.
That's awesome. Maybe we have Jeter in the Caesars outfit one night.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. And with times being tough like they are, I'm available to dress up like Caesar. I'll come to your home and run outside your house saying, "Hail Caesar!" Yeah.
And Doc will do a personalized birthday anniversary video for you, dressed as Caesar. With a salute and all.
And the segue.
Yeah. You don't even have to go on the Cameo app. He's right there. You reach out to him at the Villa Roma or on Facebook, and they're better than the Cameo apps.
Well, I tell you, thank you, Adam. We have some birthdays recently. Tommy Lexus turned 60 years old on May 30th. May 30th, Gemini's birthday. It's unbelievable, all the birthdays out there going on right now. Every day, right, Bobby? You see, like, all your friends, like 20, 30 birthdays a day.
Think about it. My birthday was Thursday, right? So, when was I probably conceived? The summer of '69. So May is the 9 months after the summer months.
Maybe at Villa Roma.
Now that would be my guy. Ray Solomon was up there in '69. I don't think I was. His parents were there.
Yeah. Let's give a shout out to the PBA. PBA, baby. New York City PBA.
Yeah, we got to ask some ideas. We got to talk. We got to talk.
Yeah, a lot of exciting things.
Go on, Adam.
I was saying a lot of exciting things coming. Sports world, Villa Roma world. I'm excited for this summer season.
And how often will you come up?
I hope to be up for a few weekends here and there, and then I'll be up for week 32. It really depends on the market. It's been tough the last 2 years just because the market was on fire. Now it's tough. Buyers are having a hard time. There's no inventory. So might be able to sneak up for a few more days than usual.
What about it, Bobby? What do you got?
For what? Sorry, I missed the question.
No, I thought you were saying something.
No, I forgot. Keep going. No, I'm sorry. I was going to say, right now we have top of the fifth, no score, and we have a one hitter for the Mariners and a 2-hitter for the Yankees. So right now we have a pitcher's duel going on up there in Seattle.
Wow.
By the way, Seattle is also on the list with Las Vegas for the next wave of NBA expansion.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see somebody like a Gary Payton, jump into that and help out to get Seattle back on the map. Seattle had a lot of good ball players: Jamal Crawford, Nate Robinson. There's a lot of them. Jamal Crawford actually does a tournament, I'm told, in Seattle over the summer, and a lot of NBA players and up and coming players from college go there and train and play. I wish we had something more local, but I guess we got Rucker Park, so that counts.
What about it, John? You're coming up to Villa Roma July 1st. You'll be here through the 5th. You excited?
Yeah, we're definitely excited. Got about a month to go before we could go on vacation, so we're definitely looking forward to it and can't wait.
Nice, nice. Got fireworks on the 4th, Bronx Wanderers on the 3rd. And then as I get the dates for the other acts this summer, I'll be posting them out. It's going to be the best summer ever. That's what we say. Best summer ever. 2023, Villa Roma.
I got to
I tell
say,
you, Doc.
I'm sorry, Bobby.
And real quick, Doc, we have a hard act to follow weather-wise from last summer. Last summer, we had one rainy day in the 10 weeks of summer.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah,
Good
that's
stuff.
amazing. Doc, I had to say, we mentioned the Bronx Wanderers, and I wanted to tell you, I just love Vinny and the boys and the whole family, Carol. They're just such good people. I've done a lot of fundraisers with them at the Bronx. Vinny actually went to Mount St. Michael High School, and
Yes.
always gives back. We do fundraisers for the school all the time. He's a family friend. It's always around in the area, and just what they're just so loving and so giving, and they put everything into it. I know they were traveling around. They were in Jersey for a little bit. They went to Queens. They had a show. They were down in Florida for a little bit. But you go and see that. It's really a father and son living their dream. It was two sons, but little Nicky, I believe, I'm not sure if it's one or two kids now, but it's just Vinny and Vinny, and they really picked up a great crew, and it's awesome. I highly encourage everybody to go see them.
Coming directly out of Vegas. They were full time there, and we're just lucky to have them back on the schedule. They're tied to this place. They were here many times before. They made it in the business, and what a wonderful, wonderful entertainment story of the Bronx Wanderers.
I love their intro.
Hold on, guys, real quick. Hold on, guys. I got some breaking news here. Monty Williams has agreed to coach the Detroit Pistons.
Wow.
For a 6-year deal, $78.5 million for a coach.
Wow. Yeah, they said they were going to go after him. They were going to go hard. Wow.
That's a lot of money for a coach.
That's a lot of money. And a 6-year guarantee.
What do you think, John?
I know they said they were going to offer him huge money to try to land him. And, I mean, he's a former New York Knick, so I'm happy for him. Definitely happy for him, former Knick. I heard there was tension, there in Phoenix with him and some of the players, and they wanted him out. So I'm glad he bounced back on his feet quick. Detroit's a young, upcoming team. They got Marvin Bagley. They got James Wiseman from the Warriors. Cade Cunningham. Yes, so another top pick coming up. So he would be the right guy for the job. Turn him around.
And I'll tell you, as a Seton Hall graduate, I want to give a shout out to my guy, Adrian Griffin, for getting the Milwaukee job.
That's huge.
Yeah, he's earned his stripes. Now he gets a chance to run his own program, and I would have to imagine if Monty Williams is taking a job in Detroit, my guy Mark Bryant will follow with him, another Seton Hall guy who been a long-time coach alongside of Monty Williams. He was there in Phoenix. I would imagine he's going with him in to Detroit. So we'll see.
And then what is it? Nick Nurse went to Philadelphia. I heard he had a meeting
Yep.
with ownership, Joel Embiid, and they're all on the same page. I think that's a great pickup. I mean, out of all the coaching jobs in that coaching carousel, you had Detroit that opened up, you had Milwaukee that opened up, you had Philadelphia that opened up. Where would you go? What's the most intriguing? I would have to say it's Milwaukee. I would want to be with Giannis. But where would you guys want to coach if you picked any of them? I forgot
Well,
it. Phoenix too.
and Phoenix. I would say Phoenix. Phoenix with the players. No, you got KD there now. You got
Booker.
Booker, who's phenomenal. You know, they have some good players there. Now, I would have to say Phoenix myself. I think Philadelphia is going to fall off a little bit because Harden's gone. You would think Harden wants to go to Houston.
Yeah, he wants to go back to Houston. They let James be James in Houston. You know what? It's going to be interesting to see what happens with Philly. You know, I was never a big Doc Rivers guy, even though he was a Knick. It's just I thought player-wise he was good. Coaching-wise, he won it with Boston. But I really thought, you know, like he underperforms with guys when he coaches. Like he lost a few times with LA. Those Orlando teams, they were 500 at best when he was coaching. You know, he did gather the group and he did win it in Boston. But again, Philly, they've come close so many times and second round exits. And he had the MVP this year.
Right.
Now, Adam,
he's a guy that doesn't make adjustments. He's a lot like Tom Thibodeau. He just stands there and doesn't do anything. And then they could go on a 20-point run, and he's still just standing there. Like, let's get a timeout going, yell at somebody, do something. And he didn't do anything.
Almost reminds me of the way Phil Jackson used to coach, where he's like, oh, the players will figure it out. I'm not calling the timeout. Well, you could do that when you had Kobe and Shaq or Jordan and Pippen.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's not the same with other players.
And Adam, I asked John this question last week on the show. You know, Thibodeau is not the guy to really get you to that final destination, right? So if he has a so-so year next year, now you already saw your GM leave, right? You got not signed. Now, are you going to regret not getting rid of Thibodeau this year with all these coaches coming available this year? He has some pretty quality names out there.
There are some quality names out there, but I don't think so. Look, you know, it's because Leon Rose is thick-headed. He wants his guys. And as long as we have Leon, it's going to be Worldwide West. It's going to be all these guys that he wants there. Look, Thibodeau's going to go on a 2-game losing streak. Half of New York's going to call for his head. They're going to want him fired. It's like in the Miami series. We win a game. Thibodeau's king. Let's go outside and celebrate it outside the Garden. Shut down 7th Avenue. And it's awesome. We lose. Fire him. I think we got to keep him right now. Do I wish that, you know, that he made adjustments? Yes. I think we need a good number 2 next to him. Even if he left, I would see them giving Johnny Bryant, his lead assistant, the coaching position.
I want to be the coach right now. Thibodeau should be fired now. Why wait when you had 6 games and you made no adjustments at all? Not one. And then Julius Randle can get away with murder. He doesn't say anything to him, but holds everybody else accountable. Obi Toppin plays 12 freaking minutes. Was a lottery pick. And when he starts, he averages 25 points a game. But how could he do anything buried behind Randall?
I agree with you. You don't give the guy the minutes, he can't perform. When he had the time, he did. I hate to say it because Obi's a great guy. He's a Westchester, New York guy right out of Ossining High School. I think he's going to be traded this summer because Tibbs is a Julius Randle guy. And they're going to move on from Obi.
Have to go. Tibbs and Randall have to get out of town.
It's going to be tough. I agree with you, but it's going to be tough. Right now, look, Randall saw this is now Jalen Brunson's team. Jalen Brunson was the one that performed. He got us, you know, as far as we did. You know, we have Josh Hart. They have to re-sign him. He's Brunson's guy. even though for some reason Brunson unfollowed him. I don't know what's going on there with
Yeah.
their
Oh,
bromance,
jeez.
but I'm sure it's just a little. It'll be fine come the season. But look, we need shooters. That's what it comes down to. We didn't win because we don't have shooters. Brunson is a little guy, and you know what? He can play in the post. He could shoot. He could do his thing, drive around. But he needs somebody to pass the ball to shoot. Randall can't do that Tasmanian devil thing where he spins around and spins around and then just shoots a three. And if he's missing, we're done. So I think right now we need Thibodeau to have a good number 2. I like Johnny Bryant, but I really want like a good offensive coach next to him to kind of say, let's shake it up a little. Let's throw somebody in. Let's change it. We're not going to really have it. Like Thibodeau was Doc Rivers' number 2 when he was in Boston, and they won the championship. He was his defensive man. He organized the Celtics defense that year that they won. I think Thibodeau needs an offensive genius next to him. Who that is, I don't know. I mean, you have guys like Mike D'Antoni, but the Knicks aren't going to bring him back. I don't know who
Mark Jackson, baby. Mark Jackson.
I like Mark Jackson. He unfairly, never gets enough credit for Golden State. He did a good job in Golden State. Yes, Steve Kerr brought them to the finals. Steve Kerr won the finals with them. Mark Jackson made Clay and Steph who they were. He opened them out of their shell. He got them to become who they were, and then Steve Kerr took it to another level.
I say Patrick Ewing. Herb Williams.
I'll let him be a head coach. He would be the head coach for Guam in the FIBA league. He's done.
So the Knicks,
he was a disaster.
The Knicks offered Patrick Ewing to be the head coach of the G League, and he turned it down. Which I get. He's got an ego, I believe that was before Georgetown, he wants to be on, he feels that he pays his dues. He was an assistant with Orlando. He was an assistant with a few teams, I believe Houston as well. I don't see him ever being a head coach. I would like to say he could be. For some reason, point guards are really the ones they go after. Maybe the Joker will be the first center as a really good coach, because he's like a point center.
Maybe Bobby Hurley.
It'll be Dan first. Unfortunately, Dan surpassed Bobby Hurley. Unless you want the dad. The dad's still around. But
then
Mark
back to Perry as the GM. He should have been fired when Steve Mills was fired. He was just a leftover. And Leon Rose is running everything now, so Perry's just there. I guess they didn't fire him, so he could just ride out his contract. But it's not a big loss at all.
So I agree with you. I don't think it's really a loss. I'm not sure why they didn't let him go when they let Mills go.
Yeah, he should go.
And they re-signed him for like a 2-year contract after that. Look, you know what? We did a lot of things. We made some moves, but I mean, I wouldn't pinpoint, Perry and say Scott Perry was the man that changed the Knicks. He was the GM. Look, he helped with the culture change. Yes. I'll give everybody a little bit of credit with that. But, was he the man calling the shots? No. Like I said, I can't think of his name. It's something Gar, I believe. He was the one that Thibodeau got from Minnesota that was negotiating the Donovan Mitchell trade. It had nothing to do with Scott Perry. And with that, I also think if Leon Rose actually got on the phone and, called up Danny Ainge and tried to negotiate that trade, I think we might have had Donovan Mitchell on the Knicks. Even though Danny Ainge, didn't want to do any favors for us, I think Leon's got to step up. He can't be behind the scenes. For so many years, New York Knicks have hid behind the MSG camera, and they do their own interviews. They talk to their own media. We really need to be out in the public. Like, why can't ESPN be there? That to me would really show the culture changed when we open up and let other news sources be there.
Right, and by not allowing it, so you're scared of any criticism. Like, we can't ask any hard questions. They didn't have any exit interviews, nothing. They just packed up and left for the season when stuff needs to be addressed.
Exactly. Leon should have sat on the podium, talked about it. Like I love Mitchell Robinson, but I think he has to go. I think we overpaid him. I love Hartenstein. I think he's good. But you know what? Right now, we need shooters. We got to look. I think they'll go after Caleb Martin because I don't think Miami's going to pay him. There's going to be other teams. Maybe we go after an Austin Reeves because who knows if LA can pay him because they're going to want to, possibly go after Kyrie. It's going to be interesting.
Seth Curry.
Seth Curry, yeah. Who knows what's going to happen there? Right now, he's in Brooklyn. Was he going to want to stay there? What's going to be?
He's a free agent. He's a free
We have
agent.
too many wings. We have too many wings. That's our thing. We have too many wings right now. So we have to either pair a couple with some draft picks and get a rebounder or something.
But I saw like Martin. He signed through next year as well, and then he has a player option the year after.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, what goes on with these Miami guys because like they were nobodies and now they're making names for themselves and the ones that aren't locked into a 2-year contract or they have team options, are they going to be picked up? Is another team going to drop more money? I really think Reeves will be out of LA because they wanted Kyrie. There was someone else that they were talking about trading D'Angelo Russell for. I forgot who it was. And then they were also talking about Trae Young. He's down there in Atlanta, and he was at the Lakers game. There's talks about him being unhappy in Atlanta. He could end up in LA. There's a lot of pieces on the move, and Damian Lillard. Who knows where he ends up? Love his loyalty to Portland. But they have to decide: are they going to trade that number 3 pick for a player, or are they going to, let Dame go?
I don't want him. As great as a player as he is, I want to see these Nets build from what they've started. Bring in a rebounder, a nasty guy. Bring in some, some bigs, and let's go from there. I think we have our core.
I think you guys have
mortgage in the future again for Lillard after what just happened with the big 3. I think it'll be a big debacle.
It'll be like the Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, Brooke Lopez, Darren Williams, those Nets. Look, Lillard's awesome.
Add to what we have now, not subtract from it.
Exactly. I like Bridges. I think the Nets have some potential there. Look, he's a Villanova guy. You never know. Brunson and Hart might reach out to him. He could be a Knick at some point. I don't know. I like his defense. I like the potential. He stepped up. I'd like to see a full season of him in Brooklyn with, now that he's not on Phoenix. He could be an all-star. We don't know really what he's capable of. You guys have a lot to do. I like Spencer Dinwiddie. He's there. He's a tough guy. He's been there before. He knows Brooklyn.
Yeah, we got to sign Cam Johnson. That's our number one priority. Sign Cam Johnson and get some nastiness. That's what we need. We need somebody, like a PJ Tucker to come in and just
hold everyone accountable. And that's the thing. Every team needs somebody like that. Every team. I feel like Miami's got a whole team of those guys. Denver's got the Jokic brothers there. That they take care of everything. They're the bouncers there, and I love them. It's going to be interesting because every team needs somebody like a PJ Tucker in there. Like Miami has Hassan Whiteside on the bench. What did he play, a game or 2 this year? He was really an assistant coach, getting in people's faces. Him and Jimmy Butler were at odds for a little bit. They were in each other's face one point in this year. And, everyone's on the same page. They went their own way and things worked out. But you need somebody that can speak up, get in another player's face and hold them accountable.
Very true.
Hey,
very true.
We're coming down to the wire here. Hey, you still with us, John?
I'm still here.
All right.
Made it to the
I tell
drive.
you, we have a TV first here on the All Points Sports Live show. We went from the end of my sunset in the beginning of the show. We had some to Sunset right out there in South Dakota, all in one show.
Yeah.
You're right. We saw the plane that was by you, and we saw the
Yeah.
beautiful sunset in South Dakota.
And this program is brought to you by Edge Remodeling. Edge Remodeling, Franklin Square, Long Island, for all your home improvements. Fully licensed, fully insured. Eddie Edge, owner, Edge Remodeling. Hey, it's been a great show, guys. And starting to get a little cooler in Callicoon out on the porch.
A lot of fun, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah.
I always like talking sports with you guys.
Yeah, Adam, and we'll definitely have you on again. And say hello to everyone out there in Westchester County, New York. Bobby Blackjack in New Jersey. We'll see you Friday, Bobby, up here at Villa Roma. He'll be DJing Friday night up on the mezzanine. And, of course, Jeff Norris will be here Saturday night from Brick, New Jersey. Jeff Norris Comedy Club night. And John out there, and that's my son, John, in South Dakota. And he'll be here at Villa Roma July 1st through the 5th. So come check out John.
Looking forward to it.
John, I'd like to thank you for your service as well.
Thank you so much.
Yep. Thank you, John.
Thank you,
Doc.
Thank you, Doc. You know, it's really, we're lucky to have people like you guys around that do that. And you know what? I tip my hat to you guys. It's impressive. I was this Memorial Day, I was so happy. They unveiled a banner of my dad over here in Somers, New York, when he was in the Navy. So I truly appreciate the military men and women and all you do for us.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. All right, everyone, have a great night. Yep. We'll see you next Wednesday on All Points Sports. Buonanotte.
Good night, everyone.
Take care.
Good night.